from one topic there to another topic, and of course now we're switching gear now, look at issues around cooperative in Nigeria. Of course, it plays a crucial role in fostering community development, economic growth, empowerment. However, like many organizations, they encounter challenges that can also hinder their progress. What are the challenges that of course, this industry is facing? I'm being joined now in the studio by Emmanuel Atama. He's the Executive Secretary, CEO, National Cooperative Financing Agency of Nigeria. Good morning, Mr. Atama.
Thank you, Mr. Yusuf.
It's a pleasure having you here. Your first time at Trust TV, I guess?
Yes.
All right. We appreciate your coming. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Let's go into some of the issues now with the cooperative financing, cooperative struggle in Nigeria. A lot of them struggle with financing. Of course, a lot of constraints like their ability to invest in growth initiative, digital infrastructure, and members' benefit. How do you deal with some of these issues?
Cooperatives cannot just start with issues of financing, because cooperatives are set up to do the things that ordinarily individuals cannot do. So it's a club, as I can say, of people that are doing something, that are engaged in one activity or the other, that are of economic benefit to themselves. So that is cooperative. And so when they are set up as an entity under an act. That is the Cooperative Societies Act, 2004, Cap 98. Just like you have the Company and Allied Matters Act. So the cooperative, once they are set up, the first thing they do is to raise shares within themselves. They declare a share capital that will be used to run it, because it's a business. Then, having raised the share capital, the next thing they do is that they commence regular contributions. And according to the law, they will contribute consistently for an upward of 6 months. Then the door is now open for the individuals to access loan facility from the cooperative. It could be double of their savings, or it could be triple of their savings. All these are contained in the act. So that is why I said cooperative cannot just start with the issue of finance. Where you see a cooperative starting with the issue of financing, it's more or less a beggar's club. So the original cooperative, as is supposed to be, yes, and it is a group of people who have something doing economically, no matter how small it is. It is the pooling of resources together to meet their needs. And why do we have cooperatives? Government is supposed to provide certain things for the citizen. The citizens are complaining that it is not well done to their satisfaction. Then the private individuals who own companies also, you heard of the real estate developers. They also, citizens are complaining that they are not doing it the way it's supposed to be. That is why the citizens came together and say, what do we do? We are the one working for government. We are the one working for the private sector person. So let us bring our expertise, let us bring our resources together and do it the way we think it should be done. And that is the reason why today you see the individuals build houses on their own through the loan facility they take from the cooperative. They do business of their own through the loan facility they take from the cooperative. And what do the cooperative give them? Cooperative give them affordability, because the cooperative financing is affordable. You will look that for the past 2 years, the credit rate in Nigeria has increased, but cooperative have not increased its rate. Cooperative is still lending at single digits. Why is it possible? Because the funds coming to the cooperative is not coming at any cost of fund. It's coming naturally. The cooperative members surrender it to the cooperative and say, use it for our own good. So, in a nutshell, cooperative cannot start with the issue of financing. But where the issue of financing will come in is if they have so many things to do and there is a gap, then the issue of financing occurs. But right now, it is being attended to. we just set up the Cooperative Development Fund as recommended in the National Cooperative Development Policy for Nigeria. And as I speak with you, we are also bringing elements within the formal sector to make sure that it can compete favorably with any model of financing in the world.
Indeed, quite impressive. A lot of people have asked me, what's the necessity of cooperatives? And from your explanation, I can actually say the word cooperative start from cooperate. You must actually come together before you can actually do that. Let's look at the necessity of it now. How important is it to form a cooperative?
Very, very important, because even here, you have a cooperative. Because my staff has come to see how we can bring you on board the use of digital platform to run your cooperative. So in government office, even in the church, in the mosques, in trade associations and groups, it has becoming like more or less inevitable, because people want to put their destiny into their hands. They want to control their life, because within the other financing models that we have, most often you get conditions that are not affordable, conditions that are not attainable. But within the cooperative, you discover that the members are the owner of the cooperative. The members are the manager of the cooperative, and then the members are the customer of the cooperative. So you now discover that whatever they decide to put up there is something good enough for themselves. So that is why it is very, very necessary. And that is why right now, as one of the drivers of the national financial inclusion strategy for Nigeria, cooperatives play a very vital role. So we domesticated it to call the Cooperative Inclusive Strategy. And we have about 7 items which we know embarrasses people. And what are those items? Access to finance. I've made mention of it, how it creates access. Access to pension that have just been discussed. As at the time the micro pension plan was set up, I was the chairman of the product committee, that is the working group for financial inclusion at the central bank. So we are part and parcel of the drivers of that scheme. And as I speak with you up to today, we are working solidly with the PENCON to ensure that our people are included pension-wise. So we give access to pension, access to housing. We are also working massively with the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria and other housing development finance institutions to create affordability and access for our members. Renewable energy. We are working with the World Bank and other service providers, giving access to renewable energy for our members, and also creating it as a business for our members. What about insurance? We're also providing insurance for our members. We are working with the National Health Insurance Authority to make sure that people are included health-wise using health insurance platform. Then what about the issue of agriculture? We are providing access to food for our members. In fact, we now have food as a credit facility, whereby our members will take food, a bouquet of food, and pay back in 3 months, and come back and take another. And that gives assurance to the farmers that, look, there are people to eat this food, there are people to buy this food. So what we did was that those in the community base, those who farm the food, they are the supplier. Those in ministries, departments, they are the people at the demand side. So if you see, we now have a balance of both the demand and the supply. And then we see it as a business for our members. And we also have access to education finance. We say that no child should come back from school because of school fees. So we also encourage parents. Most of the schools in Abuja today, you see that the schools have a parents-teachers cooperative, and then parents will be able to save the school fees of their children when school opens and they don't have much enough to pay the school fees. The cooperative will pay to the school, and while they pay back to the cooperative within the term. So if you look at these 7 items I have mentioned, these are things that embarrasses us. And if you also look at it, these items fall within the social security network. So we are not saying that since most of the people in cooperatives who are in markets, in garages, in farms and whatever are in the informal sector, if we bring to bear those things that qualify job as formal sector, like pension, healthcare, housing, finance, they are becoming included. And then you see that the employment rate will shoot up. So we think that cooperative has gone beyond the normal Esusu type. It has gone digital, it has gone nuclear in such a way that it is a veritable platform to promote inclusion for citizens.
Indeed, a very veritable platform. That was a detailed explanation there. You talk about, having partnership with development financing institutions. Talk to us about the results and the kind of achievements you've been able to record with that partnership.
As a matter of fact, what we are doing today is courtesy of the partnership we had with the Central Bank of Nigeria under the National Financial Inclusion Strategy. And from there, we'll be able to set up the Cooperative Inclusive Strategy. And from there, we are thriving very well today. Not to talk about the ongoing partnership between the World Bank and the National Cooperative Financing Agency of Nigeria. We've just conducted a survey. The survey report is out. And as a result of that, we just did a conference on compliance. And where are we heading to? We are heading to achieving the Cooperative Bank for Nigeria. So when we have set up the Cooperative Development Fund, as it runs, so many things will be coming out of it. We're going to have a very big cooperative house, which will be like a hub for cooperative activities, providing capacity building, providing access to finance, and so many other things there. Then we're going to have the bank, where we should be able to do transactions from ourselves, just like what is obtainable in other climes like the Kenya. We also intend to fuse into central bank, just as is obtainable in places like the US, even in Israel. You see that the cooperatives work hand in hand with the central bank of these countries. And what do? The data that we obtained from the sector, the informal sector, is translated to the central bank. It's also translated to the Bureau of Statistics and all other relevant institutions that are responsible for developmental decisions. And then it will aid planning to cover this category of people. So right now, as I speak with you, we have gone fully digital. By next year, we'll be celebrating 10 years of digitalizing cooperative using the unified cooperative platform. And then as I also speak with you, we have just set up through our effort the Aquila National Cooperative Society Limited, which is a digital cooperative providing cooperative platform for members and also providing digital access for other cooperatives. So what we are doing at the moment is that we have, through Aquila, related with some banks, and we have wallets that are cooperative embedded now, that through your cooperative, you can have a non-withdrawable account which holds your shares and your regular contributions that qualify you for loan. And then you also have a withdrawable account, which is the wallet, where you can do normal banking transactions through your cooperative. So we are heading somewhere, and where we are heading to is to see how we can activate cooperative potentials to eliminate poverty, hunger, and deprivation in the land.
Indeed, it's a very interesting thing you're doing. But my concern is you've gone digital. I want to ask are you just managing cooperatives that are urbanized? What about those in the local communities? You talk about financial inclusion earlier. Are they being carried along?
As I speak with you, I am from Orokamu in Benue State. There's a cooperative in my village that is using the unified cooperative platform. So, as
what
I'm
about
here,
other villages? Or do you prioritize your village because you're from there?
Charity begins from home. So I'm telling you that from the rural community, they are there. So that is how it is. The digital platform is helping us that at the click of the button, those at the rural communities are hearing us, and we are hearing them, and we are transacting. So it is not an urban setting, things. It has to do with all-inclusive, bringing everybody on board. And mind you, the financial inclusion target for cooperative is to ensure that no one is left behind.
Absolutely. Talking about no one is left behind. How much of effort are you putting in place in helping the federal government, especially the CBN, who is so keen about driving, financial inclusion to get to every nook and crannies of this country?
Who is federal government and who is us? Because you see, in democracy, we are all part of the governance.
Absolutely.
Because it's participatory. And for all that we are doing is what is calming the nerves of citizens. You know, you asked earlier about the necessity of cooperative. Take cooperative out of the ministries and departments today and see what will happen. In Abuja, for the past 5 years, there's that consistency of between 4 to 5 billion cooperative cash flow, every month. This money comes in and still go back to the people as credit facility. How much of the banks are doing that? You know, so cooperative is helping to calm the nerves. And if you watch very well, market this year, most often salaries are not paid before 25th, like Christmas Day. Most of the time, salaries are paid between 27, 28. How do the people celebrate their Christmas? How do the people celebrate Salah?
Some may borrow from neighbors or friends to celebrate.
No. Majority of them enjoy the instrumentality of the cooperatives by providing them access to those things that make them celebrate Christmas, Salah, and their festivals happily.
Indeed, that's a good one there. As we wrap up now, tell us, how do you facilitate loans or credit facilities for your members?
Yeah, what we do mostly is that we encourage...
And what are the criteria?
We encourage internal lending. That's why I told you that every cooperative generates funds on their own. And then where there are gaps, they approach financial institutions to provide for them. But we discovered recently that most of the financial institutions like taking money from us, but they don't like giving us. Okay? So, and that is why we have just set up the Cooperative Development Fund for Nigeria, so that that gap that is there can always be augmented through the Cooperative Development Fund. But as I speak with you, in terms of housing, we've been working with the Federal Mortgage Bank, who have been providing construction finance, mortgage finance for our people. And more recently, we are talking about rent to own, that if you can pay rent, you can own a house. And then we are also working with the central bank, if not recently that the central bank closed up on most of those intervention funds. We are also getting financing from the central bank. We're also getting from Exim Bank, and some other development finance institutions. As I speak with you, we also have some foreign partners that are interested in giving us long-term financing at a single digit, and which we, upon concluding the arrangement, we can make more credit affordable for and accessible for our people. So what we do is that we encourage internal lending, and then when there are gaps, you approach external sources to get. But most of the time, the external sources are mismatched, because what we lend at is not what they lend at.
Absolutely.
And to sustain that single-digit lending, that is why we brought in the Cooperative Development Fund.
Indeed, very impressive. As we wrap up now, probably maybe my last question. For those who are not your members, who are not members of Cooperative, and need funds from Cooperative, is there any window that they can access cooperative funds?
No, we discourage as much as possible, because Cooperative promote responsible financing and also development financing, in the sense that if you like the cooperative fund, why did you not participate in it? You discover that the model that we use is that you take double or triple of what you have put in, depending on what your bylaw permits. So the issue now is that when you are coming to take and you're not a member, what is the guarantee? What are you putting on ground? It's not there. And because you are not part and parcel of the house, you can easily pull down the house and you don't care. Is that not? But anybody who put in funds and is taking the funds, he knows that as I've taken this fund, as I'm paying back, I'm also saving. My funds will keep growing. When I finish paying, I can even take a bigger one. So we try to encourage all Nigerians, just like the Kenyan people are doing, that as soon as you have attained the age of 18, try to fit in one cooperative and start saving for the rainy days.
Indeed, that's the best way to wrap it up, and I'm sure many Nigerians who are still under 18 and who are not involved in cooperative should begin to take a cue from what you say so that they can be part of it as well. Emmanuel Atama, Executive Secretary, CEO, National Cooperative Financing Agency of Nigeria, and of course the President, Abuja Cooperative Federation.
Yes.
I must thank you for your time on Business Daily. We appreciate your coming.
Thank you.
With that, the wrap on the show today. We'll be back again tomorrow. I am Yusuf Akogun.